John?
Yep.
Senator, let's bring in Texas Republican Senator John Cornyn. Senator, when you take a look at these extraordinary pictures that Bill Melugin is bringing us with his team from Eagle Pass, Texas, and there you see relationship shot. I don't know if you can see it, but you see under the bridge these 4,000 or some odd migrants, most of them Venezuelan, who entered the country illegally. Then you pet up and you see the port of entry on the top of that bridge. What's going on, Senator, on the border today?
Well, it's chaos. And, I've asked myself, what's it going to take for the Biden administration to pay attention? 7 million migrants, including 1.5 million gotaways, 108,000 dead Americans dead from fentanyl and other illegal drugs smuggled across the border, 300,000 children, some in forced labor, like the New York Times has reported. Others simply, they've lost and they can't locate. We don't know whether they're going to school, whether they're being abused, neglected, or the like. And, you have to ask yourself at some point, is it that they are so incompetent that this is the result? And unfortunately, I've had to conclude, no, this is intentional. And I can't really explain other than the politics of the Democratic base. And the president's afraid of the progressive base who believes in open borders. So that's his policy.
We still don't have official numbers for the month of August yet, but unofficial numbers that were given to our Griff Jenkins by Customs and Border Protection suggest that 230,000 people crossed the border illegally in August. If the numbers are the same, if not worse, for September, based on what we're seeing, that'll put us at a new record of more than 2,400,000 people crossing the border illegally. And take a look at this. This is southwest border encounters of unaccompanied or single minor children. Fiscal year to date, about 110,000, 152,000 last year, almost the same number in fiscal year 2021. And now the New York Times has got a very disturbing report that there appears to be a pipeline almost between HHS, unaccompanied minor migrant centers, and businesses in America that are illegally employing some of these kids as young as 14. The New York Times carries the story of a young fellow who was 14 years old who was working at a chicken processing factory on the night shift cleaning things up. He got caught in a conveyor belt, nearly had his arm ripped off. Why is the Biden administration allowing this to happen?
Well, as you point out, the New York Times has done, I think, a good job exposing the facts. One of the things they've documented is out of the 300,000 children that have been placed with sponsors during the Biden administration, there have been 85,000 wellness calls made 30 days after the child was placed with a sponsor that went unanswered. So that's why I say that President Biden takes the position that's not his responsibility. That somehow is the responsibility of Child Protective Services in the various states. But we know how overwhelmed they are. And the Biden administration simply doesn't care. It washes its hands of its responsibility and says that's somebody else's problem. It's a disaster for these children who are being exploited or worse.
The way that the New York Times writes this, Senator, this whole process is an open secret. In fact, the Bureau of Labor, or the Department of Labor, rather, had a report on Packers Sanitation Services, Inc., in which it said that this company had employed at least 31 children from 13 to 17 years of age in hazardous occupations to clean dangerous powered equipment during overnight shifts at JBS USA. The division found that children were working with hazardous chemicals, cleaning meat processing equipment, including hacksaws, brisket saws, and head splitters. Investigators learned at least 3 minors suffered injuries while working for PSSI. Meantime, we see lawmakers like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Gerald Nadler standing in front of the Roosevelt Hotel, protesting administration policies, protesting Republican policies wanting to curb immigration. They get shouted down by protesters there in New York. But why aren't they out in front of these factories that are employing these children illegally and complaining about that?
Well, I saw one of our congressmen from Texas, a Democratic congressman, Congressman Escobar, criticized Governor Abbott in the state of Texas for stepping in the absence of any effective border enforcement by the Biden administration. And frankly, I'm proud of the work that Governor Abbott and the Texas legislature and leadership there, National Guard, Department of Public Safety have done, because frankly, if they weren't doing it, nothing would be there between the cartels and between our country, and it would be immeasurably worse.
I want to ask you about this new 400-acre development north of Houston called Colony Grove, which I believe that you're familiar with. It's not far away from the famous higher-end retirement area of the Woodlands. About 50 to 70,000 people live in Colony Grove right now. Apparently, it is a real haven for illegal immigrants and a potential place that could become a strategic asset for cartels to really gain a foothold in the United States. How concerned are you about this?
Well, I'm very concerned, and this is just one example of the problem, because the drugs that come across the border don't stop at the border. They're then distributed throughout the United States. And to do that, you need an organization, you need network, you need criminal gangs and others to help spread those. And of course, fentanyl is on everybody's mind. I've been at a number of events where grieving parents have talked about their children taking something they thought was pretty innocuous, only to find out it was laced with fentanyl and end up dying from it. We know where this is coming from. The precursors come from China, the drugs come across from Mexico, and then they're distributed by groups who are in the United States illegally, because frankly, if they don't respect our immigration laws, how can we expect to respect any of our other laws?
Senator John Cornyn of the great state of Texas, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks,
John. Sandra, when you look at those pictures on the screen there of all those migrants under the bridge in Eagle Pass, remember